And my great pal Nam Kiwanuka joins us now to talk about what we can expect from the newest season of The Thread. Welcome.
Welcome.
How do you like that chair?
I'm a little nervous, Steve, to be honest with you.
Come
oh my
on.
God. We ask a lot from people when they come in here.
You know, it's the same studio, it's the same table, it's just a different chair.
Exactly. And I'm sweating a little bit.
This is season number three for The Thread. Yeah. I think, you know what, I mean, the agenda's been on 18 years. There's still lots of people who have not seen it, so I like to tell people all the time what it's about. So let's do that with The Thread. What's the mission of the show?
Great question. Before I answer it, though, I just wanted to say thank you. I was on sick leave, and you checked in on me on some days when I had really dark moments, so thank you for that.
I only do that because I can't wait for you to get back here and take workload away from me.
But no, thank you. And I also want to thank the viewers because I had a lot of emails from people asking me if I was okay. One viewer even offered their surgery, so thank you.
Oh my gosh.
Hi, Bonnie. Hi, Johnny. Just wanted to say hi to some of the people who've been sending me messages.
That's beautiful.
Yeah, but the mission of The Thread, we really want, like you said, being in this chair is a little like, lights, camera, action, act natural. But so we want to give people, Ontarians, the opportunity to have their voices heard where they are. And sometimes, I know this show does it really well, where we have long discussions, we provide the context. But what we've been doing with The Thread is going into people's environments and spending time with them, allowing the story to breathe, and also trying to find the people who have the solutions. Right now, it doesn't matter where you are in the province, people are struggling, but there are a lot of people here trying to make the province better for their neighbors, and that's what we hope to present on season 3 of The Thread.
So it's out there, not in here.
Exactly,
That's the big thing.
Yeah.
Okay. What are you jazzed about for the new season coming up in particular?
Really excited about, I'm not excited. Again, I think it's the neighbor part. I think we all feel inundated with problems, but there are a lot of solutions to these problems. And again, there are a lot of there's a lot of people working hard to make things better for other people. For example, I'm thinking, we did an episode on dementia. So we spent a lot of time with a family in Milton, Ontario, and they invited us into their home. And we also had an opportunity to go down to Agewell at UHN to see all this innovation that Ontarians are working on to try to make the lives of people better. So it allows people to age in their homes longer. So I'm excited about that episode. And again, the overarching theme is the affordability crisis. And the first episode, we're talking about the housing crisis.
It's, on the one hand, so difficult to see people in hard circumstances, but on the other hand, I know that you also run into people who inspire the hell out of you by the way they cope with things, and those who are trying to work to help solve problems. It really is fabulous.
It's great because I think we all need that hope. We need to know that we're not in this alone. And again, I'm thinking of Lorraine Lamb here in Toronto, who works to get people housed. You know, last summer when the situation we had in Toronto where refugees were on the sidewalk, Lorraine Lamb and some of the people worked to get the federal government to reconsider its policies. You can't invite people into the country and then allow them to be on the sidewalks.
Have nowhere for them to stay.
Exactly. Yeah. So she's someone in Ontario who's doing that, and she's doing it on her own. I know of a situation, I hope she doesn't get mad at me, but I know of one situation where she actually helped to find a family a home, and she does this on her own. And if people need things, she'll buy it out of her own. And she's not flush with money. She's doing this because she cares about her neighbors.
You want to give her phone number or email address here?
No, I just want to say, I think she should get the Order of Ontario.
There we go.
If possible.
Okay, well, put her up for it. That's how that works.
Yeah.
You brought a clip. What are we going to meet in this clip?
We're going to meet Abra Shina. And Abra is a young woman who lives in Toronto in her 40s. She was diagnosed with terminal cancer. Oof. And then I believe a year later, she received an eviction notice from her home of almost 25 years.
Oh my goodness.
Yes.
That's like way too much to deal with all at once in your life.
Yeah.
Shall we hear from her?
Yes.
Okay. Sheldon, if you would, let's roll this clip.
This is very much my home. It's been my home for a long time. It might kill me to move.
When did you find out that you had cancer?
I got diagnosed with cancer about 2 years ago. And then it was just over a year ago that we were given an eviction notice.
Is there a part of it in maybe the back of your mind where you don't know how much time you have left to do all this?
That's not in the back of my mind. That's in the front of my mind.
Okay, what does she do now?
Well, she continues to fight. She says she wants to stay in. Her whole thing is she's not against paying more rent because she understands that compared to other people in that neighborhood, she has a good deal, but she can't move right now. And she said she spent almost 25 years in that neighborhood. That's where her and her husband run a business together in that neighborhood. And that's where her care is, the hospital. She receives treatment every day. And she has a little dog called Nugget. And one of the questions I asked her was that she was really upbeat. She was funny. She would crack jokes. And I was like, how are you able to have such good spirits? And she's like, well, what is the choice?
Yeah.
And the thing that she said that will always stick with me is that she's like, I've lived most of my life here, and I want to do my dying here.
Ugh. She's how old?
In her 40s.
Okay.
Yeah.
When do people get to watch this?
The season 3 premiere is May 29th at 7:30 p.m. on TVO here. And I just want to shout out to the crew, including the crew here, because, TVO is like the little engine that could. And it took a lot of people behind the scenes to make things work. Producers, chase producers, the crew here, and also the fact that I'm not here to do what I'm supposed to do on the agenda. So I appreciate that. So I just want to say thank you to everybody working behind the scenes to make it better.
Which you will be getting back to doing now.
Yes.
That you are back to A1, top shelf, et cetera, et cetera.
Et cetera, et cetera. And thank you to the people who trusted us to tell their stories, because it is a big thing to allow people to come into your homes. And I just want to mention one more show. We did one on stress, and we spent the day at a fire hall in Scarborough. Firefighters, we were talking to them about their stress that they manage. And do you know that less firefighters die on the job than they do by suicide? So we were able to talk about why that is and some of the solutions that fire hall was implementing to make sure that everyone there was safe.
For the final episode of this season, can you just go to a county fair and ride the Ferris wheel? Do something nice?
Honestly, there's a lot of joy in it, because when we were at the fire hall, I guess that's what they're called, I did not go up on the pole. I did not.
How could you miss that opportunity? That'd be the first thing I'd want to do.
Right? But we were able to sit with them, have breakfast. And one of the things that the platoon chief wanted me to let everybody know is that they do pay for their own food. They, have a bowl, and people take turns going to whatever store, and they cook for each other, which was so communal. It's like a nice thing. It felt really nice to be in that environment and to be welcomed into that space.
Did they call you a probie?
No, they did not. I don't even know what that means.
The
On
new
probation?
Yeah, the new guys in the fire hall. They always call them probie.
No, but lots of great people in this province where we've been very lucky to be able to tell those stories.
I want to say how great it is to see you again.
Yeah.
You look fantastic. You sound fantastic. Rock on.
Thanks, Steve. Appreciate you
That's Nam
always.
Kiwanuka, who hosts The Thread, Season 3, starting on the 29th of May. Great to see you, Nam.
The Agenda with Steve Paikin is made possible through generous philanthropic contributions from viewers like you. Thank you for supporting TVO's journalism.